So let's take a pause right there real quick. I want to kind of set the stage for what is SNAP. And it kind of said it here that SNAP is a supplemental nutrition program, basically, so people who are below a certain threshold get money from the federal government, but also through a state government and sometimes local government as well. They get food assistance so that they can feed themselves and their family, basically. There are over actually 40 million Americans who use SNAP. This ranges from people who are unhoused, veterans, seniors, even people who are working, because as we know here in the United States, there are a lot of jobs like Amazon, Walmart, which do not pay a living wage. So you have people who are working full time and do not make enough to be able to purchase food and also the other necessities of life. What you have here is, because the government is going through a shutdown, you basically have it to where, because the government is not open, SNAP technically does not have the funding or to give out the benefit. So you're talking about, within the wealthiest country in the world, we are having an issue that people cannot get the necessary food that they need to live. And I also want to state this, that SNAP, even before this happened and people were getting their SNAP benefits, SNAP was not making sure that everyone is fed. We have seen year after year there be cuts to SNAP and how much families get, how much individuals get, either with children or without children, and people are still having to skip meals even when you have people who use the benefit. But then on top of that, you really don't have a lot of people talking about how the Trump tax bill that just passed is going to cut a whole lot of people off of these SNAP benefits that they need to be able to sustain themselves and their families. And you're not just talking about people, because they always love to say that, oh, the people who are using these government programs are your lazy, your people who don't want to work. That's not who you have. You have veterans who are coming back with disabilities that make it so they cannot work. Or because they are living off of their income when it comes to being a veteran, that they do not make enough to be able to afford food. You have elderly people who, because they may only be on Social Security, they don't have the funds to be able to feed themselves or their families that they may have to take care of. So it is sad that, again, within the wealthiest country in the world, you have residents here who are not able to feed their families, and you don't have Democrat lawmakers, while they are in this negotiation for the government shutdown, who are saying that we also need to raise the eligibility to allow the same people who were previously able to get SNAP benefits to continue to get these benefits and take off some of these work requirements, because you have a lot of disabled people, unhoused people, who are not able to meet these requirements. And one thing to also say how this serves in corporations' favor: when people are living on the edges of society and in between either not being able to feed themselves and their families, or being on the very edge of like having government assistance, when you do not have these government assistance programs and these social safety nets that, I want to stress, the majority of countries in the world do have like the basic necessities of a social safety net. But when you have a situation where people do not have those things, then corporations are able to lower wages because they know you don't have any other option.